I'm Riley Clemmons, and I am hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Sounds like you're having a blast while you're out here.
Yeah, I love LA. I love it. It's not Nashville, but it's a pretty close second.
Yeah. How different is Nashville now? Because every time I talk to songwriters, they say that Nashville is a new hotspot for like songwriters and artists and musicians.
Yeah, it really is. I'm born and raised in Nashville, so it's all I've ever known. But I mean, there's so many similarities now between whether it's just like the music culture or the entertainment industry culture, but Nashville definitely has more of a small town feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because, like, you know, before you would think like Nashville is just country. It's just that kind of lifestyle. It's just that kind of vibe.
Right.
But like even like the biggest pop names are coming out of
Every
there.
genre is represented in Nashville now, especially like such a hub for pop writers and emerging pop acts, which is really cool because the music is coming out of the same like tiny little writers' rooms, just these massive pop hits. It's amazing.
And being born and raised there and like kind of seeing how it's kind of evolved, because the evolution has been within the last like 3-4 years, I want to say.
Super recent.
So do you feel like that kind of impacted like your creative process of like as far as writing music, or like maybe like the type of sound that you like to create?
Absolutely. I think I'm 19, so I'm super young, and being able to grow up around the music culture, I definitely saw it go from more of like the country that you'd associate Nashville with to the pop stuff. So it allowed me to walk into rooms, and there were especially women who had broken that mold and been like, no, we're writing pop music, and getting to collaborate with women like Emily Weisband, who's like the most amazing, and just all these incredible female writers in Nashville making pop music. Yeah.
So, you know, talk to me about your music, and like when you sit down and start writing your tracks, is this something that you kind of work on it by yourself? Like, do you have co-writers that you like to collaborate with? Like, what is that process for you like?
I love co-writing. I've been co-writing since I was 13 in town, so I've been at it for a while. But for me, I mean, collaboration is such a great way to create, but a lot of the ideas just come from voice memos or the notes section on my phone, whether it's like I'm pulling off on the side of a highway to write down an idea, or waking up in the middle of the night and being like, I should put that in my phone before I forget it. And just little things like that. But normally I take in a concept to the studio, or either have like a chord progression that I have going. But my biggest priority as a writer is for everything to be honest and vulnerable. I mean, like, I feel like that's where connection happens. Even in pop music, it doesn't matter if it's tempo or ballad, like, there's such an opportunity for connection within music. If the lyrics are honest.
Now, you mentioned vulnerability. Like, how do you get vulnerable in the studio with a new producer? Especially because, like, as songwriters, you don't know who you're going to be producing a song with.
Exactly.
So, you know, sometimes it's someone you know, sometimes it's like a brand new person. But how do you get comfortable in that aspect?
Gosh, I'm not shy at all, which helps. I don't know if you can tell. I love to talk, but I normally, walking into the room when it starts, like, you get to know each other and you get a feel for what's going on. But it's so funny when you start tearing down the barriers and being like, I'm struggling with this, whether it's something like insecurity or relationships or a breakup or really anything. Most people in a room can be like, I've been there. Or either they're in the middle of it too, or either they're about to be going through it. So it's like,
You're just prepping them for that experience.
Exactly. But it's totally chills everybody out when, instead of just like staying on the surface, you allow it to go a little bit deeper. It really does make people more comfortable, which is shocking, but it's true.
That is true. I've noticed that as well. Right now, I want to talk about your most recent singles, Fighting for Me and Free. Tell me about the creative process with these two, and I feel like they're two different songs, completely different songs. So like, tell me about the dynamics of creating those two tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. So I remember when we went in to write Fighting for Me, I was working with two writers, Ethan Hulse and Jordan Sapp, that I've worked with for many years now. And I had walked into the room, and we were all just sitting around, like the first hour you spend just talking to each other and just catching up. And we were just, there's so much division in society right now, obviously. There's so much that seems like you walk into a room and it's easy to feel the differences, first off.
It's kind of gross.
It's kind of gross. And so we started talking about, okay, what unites us? Let's write something about what a uniting factor is just amongst humanity. And there was this like definitive yearning amongst human beings to be fought for in a way that shows up as unconditional love. It's like it's all about community. Like we need people to fight for us. We need love to fight for us when we don't have the strength to do it ourselves. So it was just a matter of sitting at a piano and putting chords together. And again, kind of the first line of the song is, I need the kind of love that can outlast the night. Like just this desire for a love that's more meaningful than something temporary. Right. Yeah. And so on the other hand, I wrote Free. I had just gotten off an airplane and I roll up to the studio. I'm a hot mess. But I like, you know what, guys? I just got back from playing a show. Getting to just sing and play music, that's what freedom feels like. Yeah. And so that we just wanted to write something upbeat. And I had the title Free that I knew that I wanted to write because I was like, that's the only word that describes this feeling. Like the freedom that comes with like music. Yeah. And again, like people and getting to have connection and getting to have, it's just the beauty of not being scared of what's coming and enjoying right now. Right. Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because I feel like not just those two tracks are two completely different. Like I listened to your debut album as well, and like there's some songs that are so anthemic, and there's some songs that like I feel like you have an orchestra behind you, like, and it's like you know, like, is this who you are like as an artist? I hate that like nowadays people label genres as in like this is what kind of artist you are, but like you get to have fun with it with your music. So do you care about that, like finding your specific genre, or you just want to make music whatever comes out of your mind and your heart?
I think, wow, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. But I think as a human being, I am a dynamic person that can have the best day of her life one day and the worst the next. And I think that it's my job as an artist to show up in rooms and just tell the story of that day. Right. And it's always going to be different. And I think a lot of the times that honesty breaks the box of genres because it's just life. Like life doesn't consist of a single.
I love how you view life. This is like amazing.
No, but like it's not one sonic profile. Right. And it's not like one story over and over again, It's like I want to tell my stories through music, and maybe it's going to sound like a piano and an orchestra one day and maybe a pop track the next.
Maybe a Christmas jingle that's coming up this, week.
Surprise! It's coming out.
It's happening. It's happening. Unfortunately, it's like 100 and something degrees here in LA.
Oh, you see, we're not wearing highlight. I'm sweating.
So, talk to me about this EP that you're about to drop, The First Christmas, and like you not only did a couple, Christmas songs, you created your own, and I feel like it's hard enough to write a song, but I feel like it's even harder to write a Christmas song because everybody knows Christmas songs. Everybody has heard them over and over. So, like, why did you want to challenge yourself in doing so?
The funniest part is we didn't plan to do it. That's like what always happens when you write a song. I mean, but I was going in to collaborate with two writers, again, that I work with all the time. Yeah. And our producer last minute had to cancel. So it was just a co-writer and I in a room. And we're like, oh, well, we're here now. And then I remember just casually like, let's write a Christmas song. And it's really just because I love Christmas chords. It's just like, they just make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. So we sat down at the piano, and within like the hour, we had the entire song. Yeah. That's crazy. It was like so unplanned.
So when the parents aren't in the studio, like you're just like, let's just write Christmas songs.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we got nothing else to do but write a Christmas song. I love Christmas music.
No, so. I do too. But like, I don't think I've ever heard of an artist that actually made their own. Like, I feel like everybody just covers them.
Yeah, I just love to write. Yeah. I mean, I remember like when that song, we started this idea for a song called The First Christmas, and just this whole story of like the different first Christmas, like my first Christmas, and what the first Christmas means. And I just wanted to write this nostalgic, in-depth, like, how Christmas makes you feel, like deep down. It's like, it's so beautiful. Wanted to create that emotion in a song.
Hopefully when I start listening to it, I'll actually like forget that it's hot outside.
Yeah, it's like 100 degrees.
It's ridiculous.
It's hot.
It's ridiculous. So, the EP is, dropping this weekend. And, what are the plans for you? You're on tour right now. You just did your Santa Ana show. Like, how has this tour kind of influenced your performances? Because you're hitting bigger venues this time around.
Yeah, hitting bigger venues. I think that being a new artist, it's like, you play so many shows where people have no idea who you are, and that's part of it. But this has been one of the first tours where I've gotten to play the songs and look out into the audience and see people singing along. I can't, I'll cry. Childhood dreams coming true.
Cool.
But it's really special to just see the lyrics connecting. It's like, I don't know, words don't really describe it, but I think that's been the biggest thing this tour is just like, okay, people are familiar with the music, and it's such a motivator to get back in the studio and keep cranking it out.
That's really cool. Well, congratulations with that. Congratulations with the EP. You guys be sure to check out Riley Clemmons' EP, The First Christmas, is probably out now by the time you're watching this. And thanks for watching here on Front Row Live.
Thank you.